When sharing a web address, you need to think about how the material will be encountered and prepare it accordingly. If this is a website, email, or digital document, you'll want to make sure you use descriptive text for your link. If you're preparing a presentation or print document, you'll want to display a concise and usable web address. You can also effectively prepare a single document for both use cases. Let's explore these possibilities. This video has chapter markers. Use them to jump to the sections most relevant to you. When including links in your digital document, the text of each link should be unique and descriptive of the link target. Avoid phrases like "click here" or "read more." Your link text should be able to stand alone. Let's look at the example of Wikipedia. This article on frogs has over 2,000 links. Most of them are presented in the context of a sentence as a single word which links to an article about that topic. These links are all examples of descriptive link text. Once printed, a link cannot be clicked. When you're preparing print material or a presentation, you'll want to provide your link or email address written out so that the reader can type it into their device. Use the shortest possible version of your web address and omit unnecessary leading characters like https:// and www. If your target page has a long and cumbersome address, consider using a link shortener like tinyURL. If this is your own agency's website, you may be able to set up an alias address. For example, the Address to Cat Northwest Tada page on our website is 93 grueling characters long, but you can instead share the shorter alias address, wssb.wad.gov/tada. This is both easier to read and easier to accurately transcribe onto your own device. When your link includes multiple words with no punctuation in between, capitalize the first letter of each word. This makes them easier to visually parse, to make sure they'll be pronounced correctly by Access Technologies. Any initialisms should be written in all caps to make sure they're read one letter at a time instead of being pronounced as a word. While it's no longer common, sometimes addresses are case sensitive or only work with the leading www included, so always test your link text before finalizing your document. If you're creating a document in Word or other Microsoft products with written out links for print, you can also add a screen tip with descriptive text. Find the screen tip button in the Edit Hyperlink window. In a PDF, you can give your links alt text, find the link tag in your tags pane, right-click or use Shift F10 to open its context menu, and open the Properties window. In the alternative text field, write descriptive text for your link. When your link will be encountered in physical reality, such as on a slide deck or print document, you may also want to provide a QR code. A QR code is like a barcode, but made of squares arranged in a square matrix. These are frequently used to represent links, but can also contain over 4,000 characters of unformatted text information. When preparing a flyer or poster advertising an event, you could probably encode all of the contents into a single QR code. You may want to include a tactile indicator around the QR code so that users know where to point their cameras. These could be used anywhere there is print information in a space too small for Braille, such as the answer side of a flashcard, cards for a board game, or growing directions on a seed packet. The most important thing to remember when using a QR code is to make sure the information it contains is also available in print text. Not everybody carries a smartphone at all times. They may want to manually type the web address into a laptop or other device with no camera, and some people are not comfortable with QR codes due to their use in phishing attempts. As usual, providing multiple pathways to accessing the information is ideal. When designing a website, remember that links are for navigation and buttons are for interactive features on the current page. Do not use ARIA's role attribute to mark a link as a button if it is a navigational link. Doing this prevents it from appearing in a links list and can make navigation unnecessarily cumbersome. This is one example of a common misuse of ARIA attributes, which is a common problem in web development lately. Make sure that ARIA attributes are only being used for their intended purposes and that you fully understand the impact of that attribute before use. ARIA attributes are meant to improve web accessibility, but misuse can make the website impossible for people to navigate with access technologies. Consider including a print selector in your style sheet that causes link targets to be written out when the page is printed. This allows you to have an easy-to-navigate digital document and usable addresses on your print document. Remember, whenever adding exciting interactive features to your educational web content, to also check and update your print styles and make sure no information is lost in the hard copy. Links can also be used to trigger some basic device functions, like composing an email to a particular address or initiating a phone call to a specific number. These links will only work on a device where the default application for these functions has been set, so it's a good practice to have the target written out as the link text. For email addresses, add mail to as one word with a colon after it before the address. Clicking on this link will open your device's default email app with a new email to that address. In Word and other Microsoft tools, the Edit Hyperlink window has a tab for email addresses, where you can also specify the subject line to make sure the messages you receive have appropriate context. Similarly, for phone numbers, adding tel with a colon after it before the phone number will create a link that opens your default dialing app. You could also use the letters SMS if you want the link to initiate a text message instead. The most important thing is to consider how your end users might encounter your content and prepare for as many of those use cases as is possible.